Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller.
Last week, your President Joe Biden announced that he was going to nominate the first black female Supreme Court justice. However, his approach to nominating this black female Supreme Court justice comes straight out of the playbook of the black pastor. Now, the black pastor has been a major problem in the black community because what he does is he divides the black community by appealing to the black woman. And that's what your Joe Biden is trying to do with this black female Supreme Court justice nomination, is he's trying to divide the black community and he's trying to divide the black vote. And like the black pastor, what your Joe Biden is doing is he's telling the black woman what she wants to hear in order to appeal to her emotions. Now, your black woman, she really doesn't really think about anything because that's not how she was wired, because your average woman is emotional. And that's what your Joe Biden is counting on, is your black woman getting into her emotions, because on the surface, your Joe Biden, a white man, is paying black women attention, and many of your black women, because your Joe Biden is saying he's going to nominate a Supreme Court justice that's a black woman, they are creating a covert contract with your Joe Biden because they see this black female Supreme Court justice as a proxy for themselves. And because they believe that this black female Supreme Court justice is a proxy for themselves, this is making them get into their emotions and believe that your Joe Biden actually cares about them and actually wants to do something positive for them. So this is the same kind of game that your black pastor often runs in the black community, and your Joe Biden is just taking a page from the black pastor's playbook and going out here telling the black woman that what she wants to hear, getting her attention, showing her the attention that she desires, and then using that to go out here and take advantage of her the same way the black pastor takes advantage of black women every Sunday. And the black pastor, on every Sunday, he comes into the pulpit, he tells the black woman not the word of God that tells her to be a helpmeet to the black men in her community, submit to the leadership and authority of black men like it states in the Bible. No, he tells her things that tickle her ears about how she's going to receive blessings and prosperity. And because she's told what she wants to hear and her ears get tickled, and he starts to play music that makes her feel good, what he does is go out here and starts asking for money, and she goes out here and gives this black pastor all of her money, and then struggles to try to borrow $20 from auntie and grandma in order to have groceries for her kids for the rest of the week. And what your Joe Biden is doing is no different than the black pastor. What he's doing is he's going to trot out this black female Supreme Court justice, and what he hopes to do is run an okey doke on the black female, similar to what the black pastor does by going out here and talking with the mothers and the women in the church and giving them some sort of attention. And then when they see that woman getting attention, they see themselves getting the same attention. And the same thing is happening here with Joe Biden. And what's happening here is he knows that these black women will deify and worship this white man, and with that black woman standing next to him, believe that they have a place in society. And what happens is that as they're sitting there looking at this black woman, they envision themselves in that same place of that black woman, Supreme Court nominee, And they create the covert contract where they think, oh, if I support your Joe Biden, eventually he'll put me in the same place as that black woman is right now. Unfortunately, what happens in most cases is your black female, if she's not smart, she'll sit there, believe that this is her chance to get attention, and she'll buy into this and think that this is why she needs to vote blue no matter who, even though the guy who is blue is trying to screw her over, and he's just using her to get her vote, and then he's going to give her the same amount of nothing that he told her she was going to get back in December of 2020. And that's what is the big problem with many of the black women out here who, if they fall for this game, it shows something I talked about in my book, why 70% of black women are single, how black women would have selective hearing if they fall for this con job. Because instead of them thinking critically about what your Joe Biden is doing, they are getting caught up in their emotions about the attention. And again, that's what your Joe Biden wants black women to do, is get caught up in their emotions and fall for this ploy, which basically does not benefit black women, because if we look at the so-called nominees, several of them are swirlers who are involved with and married to white men, and several of these women are foreign-born black women who have no respect for foundational black American women. But they want to go out here and try to gain the favor and attention of foundational black American women, because your Joe Biden knows that his approval rating is in the toilet, and he's practically this close to losing the House and the Senate. And what he wants to do is try to con black women into taking their booties to the poll. And what he wants to do is get them to vote blue and then screw them right after they give him their votes, not getting anything tangible in exchange for them, but believing they got some symbolic gesture. Again, the same play from the same playbook that the black pastor goes out here and uses. And what's happening here is your black women, if they're not smart, they will get pimped in the same way the black pastor pimps the black community, going out here, getting what he wants out of the community, and then taking resources out of the black community. And yes, you'll have a black female Supreme Court justice on the bench, but that black female will not be about black people. No, she will just be a token that is black on the outside, white supremacist on the inside. And this woman will go out here and be somebody looking to do the bidding of white supremacy, and there will be no difference between her or a Justice Clarence Thomas, because it's a distinction without a difference. And I'm taking that from Professor Black Truth because it is the truth, because it didn't matter that Clarence Thomas came from George H.W. Bush, and it doesn't matter that whoever female he picks comes from Joe Biden. They're coming from both arms of white supremacy, and neither arm is going to go out here and look out for black people. So what black women really need to look at is, why is Joe Biden coming out here and making this gesture? And the reason why your Joe Biden is making this gesture is because he knows that he's alienated his Hispanic and Asian voting blocs, these minorities he thought were going to become the minorities that would replace foundational black Americans. But he saw with the 2021 Virginia governor's race that those voting blocs really are not voting blue. No, they are voting red in large numbers, and that's what's got him scared and spooked. And now he wants to turn tail and come back to the black community, and he wants to not give black people any sort of tangibles for their vote, because he does not respect black people, and he thinks black women are stupid So what he wants to do is come out here with these gestures that are playing to the black woman's emotions, very similar to what the black pastor does, playing to the black woman's emotions in order to get things out of her. And then once they get things out of the black woman, they push the black woman to the curb and then start talking about white women, Asians, and Hispanics and Afghans. And it takes people of character to tell guys like Joe Biden that why don't you go back to those Hispanics, Asians, and Afghans that you said were going to replace us and these foreign-born blacks, because you want to go out here and you came to them first. You said you could do nothing for us, and since you can't do nothing for us, we can do nothing for you. Unfortunately, many of your black women, they don't really, again, see the game being run on them that's run every Sunday by your black pastors. And because they can't see the game, they can't see how they're being played by a president who is trying to be as slick as a black pastor and is running the same game from the same playbook as a black pastor. And in both cases, you have an individual who has no respect for foundational black American women and sees foundational black American women as patsies he can take advantage of. And that's something our sisters need to get educated on, because that's what's happening here. You have a president who expresses the greatest contempt for black women because he thinks he can give you an empty symbolic gesture and a little bit of social currency, but won't give you an opportunity to have the same wealth of those white women who voted for Donald Trump in large numbers, and wants to tell you that he wants to build back better, but works to tear down your black community, and he wants you to be a tool in doing that dirty work. And again, that's what's happening here when you look at the big picture with Joe Biden's Supreme Court nominee. It's no different than the game the black pastor runs on every Sunday. Unfortunately, he's trying to run this game for Election Day, and what most black people need to do is what many brothers do on Sunday when there's church, and that is stay their asses home on Election Day. Because if there is no support for a black agenda from the blue, then there should be no black votes for anybody blue, no matter who. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, because this one will not be monetized, you can donate to the Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my positive black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the Spinsterella trilogy, and books like The Thetas and A Recipe for Success, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and Kindle, Stop Simping in Cyberspace. Learn how to avoid predatory females like Instagram models and e-girls in their virtual con games with Stop Simping in Cyberspace. Get your copy of Stop Simping in Cyberspace in paperback and Kindle today.